In this video we're going to talk about threading anchors, common mistakes that are being made and how to avoid them. So one of the common mistakes that people make is that they have this screw gate not ready on their belay loop but on one of their gear loops on the side. And then when they've threaded the anchor, made their overhand knot, people have made the mistake of tying it into their gear loop. The gear loop is not load bearing, so when you've clipped into here and you've finished all of this and you're ready to be lowered, this will not hold your weight. So a way to avoid this is to always have your screw gate ready at the front of your harness. This is how we prefer to teach it. So always when you've threaded the anchor, it's ready right there on the load bearing part of your harness. An alternative, if you don't like to have the screw gate on the belay loop, is to have it tucked away all the way on the back of your harness, because you cannot make the mistake of tying it in here then, because it's completely out of sight. Then you will grab it, put it on your belay loop and put it in. The only problem with this would be that you could drop the screw gate while clipping it onto your belay loop. Unless you know another method of threading the anchor without a screw gate, you will have to figure out something else. So it's better to always have it on your belay loop. Another common mistake when threading anchors is to not weight your cow's tail. So put my cow's tail in, but because I'm standing on a comfortable ledge, I don't feel the need to sit back on it. But then, once I've threaded the anchor, and now I'm ready to take my gear off, because this is not weighted, people have made the mistake of taking this one off before they've actually checked what they've done is correct. The problem with this is that there could be meters of slack in the system. If the climber leans back at this point, they could fall a long way, or even worse, they may not even be on belay. The most important part of the whole procedure of threading anchors is that the rope is weighted before the cowstail or sling is removed. This way, any mistake will be picked up on while the climber is still safe. So it's important to, during the process of threading, have your cowstail in and weight it during the whole process.
Rock and Son have put together this collection of instructional videos, so those of you that have been on one of our courses or holidays can use it as a reminder of what you were taught and what you practiced during the week or weekend. We appreciate that there is often far too much new information to remember it all, and hope these short clips will act as a useful resource for our many clients. They should not be seen or used as standalone instructional videos and can in no way substitute face-to-face instructions from a qualified guide or instructor. However, if you have already been on one of our courses, we think they will be clear and easy to follow. Many of them will have a longer edit with how to avoid common mistakes and other important safety information or improvements to some of the things you may have been taught or that you might see in the short edit. We are always looking at ways to improve and make safer the systems and procedures that we teach, so I recommend that you watch them in full to ensure that you take all of the necessary information and pick up on anything that we might have changed or improved since the original filming. The climbing industry is constantly moving on in terms of new equipment and better or safer ways of doing things, and as such, Rock and Son from time to time may offer improved ways of approaching standard procedures. Rock and Son's participant statement is that the activity of climbing and mountaineering is inherently dangerous and therefore carries the serious risk of injury or death. Although it is possible to minimize these risks, it is important that participating individuals realize and accept the risk and take full responsibility for their own actions. We strongly advise seeking first-hand instruction by a qualified guide or instructor prior to climbing outside unsupervised.